Welcome back to another live trading session. Welcome traders, welcome back to another live trading session for 17th of February 2026. It is another great trading day and week, looking for potential trading opportunity here in this market. And beginning with some stunning music. If you guys looked at, if you're enjoying this live session every day that I'm doing, make sure you like this stream. First of all, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Set up with the make sure you press the notification bell so you're not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. Welcome. Waiting for some warm up. If you guys are ready, write something on the live chat. I see that few members. Welcome. Good day. You guys write something that I know that you are ready, and we can begin first of all the analysis. Welcome. Thank you. Yeah, big drop pre-London session. Yes, that we can see. Where with the drop that you can see during the London session, and we will be first of all objectively looking at the market. This is what I always talk about, that objectively. That means that we will not keep any determined what I call the directional bias. We will be looking at the real market. Can you break the low going into the New York? There is a higher chance. We will be looking at both probability. Now, if you look at that here, all right. So if you look at the market is in a kind of what's it called, incubation. Let me see. It's a kind of so that so the market is a one kind of what I say, the incubation, right? So it's maintaining an optimal state of remaining not going much in any direction. It's a kind of, I posted analysis earlier, it's a kind of superposition of both buying and selling probability at the same time, right? Now, to trade in those kind of market, you want to see that the market first to get or going to an imbalance. All right, so that means that going to any one direction excessively before you look for the entry. Now, because especially when the market do like that, that means when the market became equally bullish and bearish at the same time, what I do normally is look at the high and the low of the daily, and trading based on the high and low of the daily. So that will give us one kind of, or I would say that, a potential for a high probability trade setup. And if you look at today's market, the high is 4998. That means that if you look at the high here for 5,000 to 4859, comparatively higher volatility than yesterday. And the market, once open off this level, there is a break below, and with that break, the market, we can see the price slowly feeling that long wick here in that area. So if you look at, and with that movement so far, because the market has significantly shown downward pressure, that means that bearish pressure. Let's look at the 1 hour chart here. Now from the 1 hour, previous 1 hour was bearish rejection of this key level, and I think these are some of the levels that we can look at for potential entry. So here is what we can see in this area. This is a head, left shoulder, and the right shoulder. There is a lower time frame 1 minute chart if we look at head and shoulder formation here. Now looking for a potential entry back below here in that market. This is the 1 hour price action where I'm looking at this low. The market may, so far, as one of you have mentioned, there is a higher chance for this price to eventually break the low here. And there's a crossover of 10 and 20 exponential moving averages that you can see in that area, and that is giving a higher chance that this market to drop further back below here. And if you look at with this large head and shoulder, there is a break below of this head and shoulder, and expecting that the market to fill that zone here, fill that long wick, and coming down back below to this order block, breaking daily low. If the market drops, which is also a probability, because the market already overextended well below here. Okay, this is a high area of value. There are a couple of scenarios can happen. One is the market drop a lot. So this market potential for drop a lot. There is another probability is of this support breaking, starting a new uptrend. Now at the moment, so far, yes, there is a higher chance for coming further down and breaking the daily low. So there is a chance for that to happen, because the market is creating, if you look at with this lower time frame, uptrend, and from this lower time frame uptrend, the market slowly crossing. If you look at, this is a liquidity sweep, and the market of this level breaking below could eventually come down well below here to the support level. All right, so from that perspective, if we look at here the lower time frame price action, that we are looking at this market to pull back here, and with that pullback, the market to trend back well below to this liquidity zone here. And I'm looking at here in this market for this possibility, looking at in this market for the market to eventually drop further downside and to create a new lower low. Okay, we can see from this support, the market is slowly creating an upside bias here, going back to this resistance line. And here is the price is approaching this 20 exponential moving averages here, that you can see the price is approaching that there where there is a 20 exponential moving averages. And what I think the price may retest and then to return back again below here to the support level. And where with this movement, if you look at from the lower time frame, it has made its move back to the upside. Here they're expecting the market to trend back down further back below here to the support level. So we're looking at here in this market to show us a potential trading opportunity. I hope that guys you are ready for another trading day. And now we also going to look at the fundamental, right, which is an integral part of our trade entry. Looking at also the sentiment. So first of all, looking at the calendar. Now today is the second day of the trading week, and later today coming some news on CAD, but there isn't any significant news on dollar. Tomorrow will be FOMC meeting minutes, which is in NOI session. Unemployment rates on IUD after tomorrow. So at the moment, if you look at here, from the lower time frame in this market of this support level here, that the market has moved back above. And with that movement, they're expecting the market to eventually test and then to potentially to continue to trend back below here to the support level. Now, breaking the resistance line can give a possibility for the market to eventually trend back down below. This is what we are looking at in this market to show that the price to retest and then to return again back in the major direction of the trend. All right, so I'm looking at a possible entry along the way. There's a double top here, and from the double top expecting the market to trend eventually back below here. And you see there is a rejection coming of this level, and I'm preparing for a potential entry after price action confirmation for a possible drop down back below here in that market. This is a long term. If you look at here, there is a drop back below, and you could see the market to trend down further here in that area. there's initial bounce coming up here in that market. With an inverted head and shoulder, if you look at the price slowly building its momentum back above, and we are looking at in this market to eventually come down further back below here to the support level. Welcome traders, welcome back to another live session. We are looking at here for high probability entry in this market, and if we look at that, this market currently in a trend, and we are looking at for possible downtrending market at the moment. As we can see, there is a there was a liquidity sweep here and the market dropped down, so it's a kind of sideways, but at the same time there is a possibility for a move back below. In the meantime, traders, make sure you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it. Let's look at also how the trade entry engine currently showing any entry here. Now this is the tool for me to look at sometimes very high probability entry, especially when there is a session open or close. And here is, this is still on, but I will be looking at breakup structure back below here. Breaking daily low, so we're looking to see. And I think the market, the way it is, if you look at the one minute chart, it's testing this resistance and getting the rejection, and we might see this market to trend down here, trend back below here, and we could see the price to continue to trend down back below to the support level. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, as with this level, the market slowly building its momentum, and we will be looking at a break below for us to be able to sell this market here in that area. As this is there is a break below here. If you look at from this high to this low, the market has retraced back below here to the support level, tested that low, and the market has bounced back here, and you could see the price to eventually break that low and continue to trend down here to the support level to create a new lower low. Now at the moment, if you look at here, there is a sideways movement, and with the sideways movement, expecting the market to trend down here, and this is what we are looking at this market here. And we see there is a eventual break above, and with that break above, this market is showing its pattern back to the upside, and with that break above, that we are looking at the market to continue to drop down back below to the support level. And now with the doji, that if you guys look at it, you can see with this doji, the market created a doji, grabbed the liquidity, and we might see now a potential retest of this resistance, and from that zone looking for the market to eventually come down further. It's still lower time frame upside here, but once the market eventually change the trend, we will be looking to sell. Do you think it's gonna break this high and reverse? And the daily low is here. So if the market drop, there is a higher chance for the market to eventually drop down to the daily low, which is a very high probability setup here, that the market could eventually break down to the daily low. And if we look at the trend and also the market over UK February 2026, comes New York is pushing Sweden to warm up to the euro. Okay, so some of the if you look at here, Iran wants to make a deal with the US, okay, which is 17 February, a couple of hours. Okay, so how does that? Still, there isn't much. What I would say that the market is moving in a sideways because there isn't any outcome yet of that. So once it comes out, we might see that there might be the new movement coming in the market. But at the moment, if you look at in this area here, lower time frame, we are looking for a move at certain level, right? So this is what we will be looking at, especially when there is a higher liquidity sweep. And from the, if you look at 1 hour candle closing now, and that 1 hour candle close is important because with this 1 hour candle close, we'll be able to see that how the market might react to that level. All right, so this is a significant price action that is forming. You can see slowly building its momentum back below, and the price on the 1 minute not being able to entirely break the high. So this is the 1 hour high that the market tested, the 10 exponential moving averages. So look to potentially sell here. Not yet, I'm still looking at. We might sell on robot. But I'm really excited to see this candlestick pattern to close and then potentially to give some kind of bearish rejection of this level here. This is the lower time frame price action, and we could see that in short period of time there might be some kind of rejection as the market is showing that there is a potential for double. We see there is triple top. The price is slowly building its momentum back below. So here is looking for that the market to show downside momentum here in that market. So looking at here, if you look at the lower time frame price action, showing the market is slowly building its momentum back below. So we'll be looking at here, if you look at the 1 minute, there is a support test and the market is trying to, before the candle close, to push little back to the upside. We would like to see the market is going here for the for this move. And once the market creates enough imbalance in that area, we will be looking for potential sell opportunity. What I think the short term, we can expect a possible downward pressure here. This is the 5 minutes price action that you can see from these support levels trying to break that high. And looking at the 1 hour, this is the 1 hour high at 4930. I'm looking at the market to show up here that movement, right? So, and I hope that you guys, if breaks resistance possible to tap daily high, I don't think the market will be very strongly bullish of this level here. And I think the market might move in a sideways. So if you look at this structure, let me delete those levels. There might be, but the higher chance, if you look at here, you can see there is a pattern that the market is, this is a semicircular pattern, which is a kind of parabola. So look at off this level. And the market may do something like that, coming back to that. So the possibility here is in this direction here on XAUUSD. And therefore, the chances that the market to remain bearish here. Now, once the price shows its clear confirmation here that this we will be looking at entry, we have 1 minute for the candle to close in that area. Let it bounce back to the upside. If you look at the 1 hour, and if the 1 hour candle closing above in that area, there is a chance for a deeper pullback, and this is what you want to look for, an entry in that market. So some kind of rejection that you can see the market is trying to build its momentum. Here is the move that you can see the market off this level, and slowly, if you look at from this support level created, it's uptrending movement here you can see in that market. So let's look at here is the long week, quite a few long week candlestick pattern here in that area. Okay, so the market is slowly off this level, breaking that high. And what you can see, traders, here that the market is creating its momentum in that area. Here is quite a few long week candlestick pattern. You can see the market after break of this high, it extended above this level. And now, as the market, if you look at this, the 1 hour price action has shown significant movement in that area. And with this movement, we're looking to see that the price action getting in that area to the upside. And Okay, so it's breaking that high here, and we are seeing the market slowly breaking the previous session's high, and there might be a trading opportunity coming here. Still, it's trying to break that high. If you look at the daily, the market is just above the daily 20 EMA. It dropped well below, and I think after going up, there is a higher chance for another wave of drop, because the market here in that area is where the price action showing up, and we might see that the market to eventually drop that down back below. Breaking above this high can be an important level that we can look for potential selling here in that market. All right, so let's wait here to see where the market is heading at the moment. And patience is key, guys. You see that from this support, it bounced back to the upside, and the market, one of the, what I would say that interesting thing in the market is that it happens to me many times. I believe that it happens to you as well someday. Okay, like I'm talking about in the past and also these days. Sometime you'll see that, like, expecting the market to move in one direction, right? And you'll see that the market will keep moving the other direction continuously without any now. Look, when I'm looking at the multiple time frame here to see overall movement in the market, because the market more often, when you look at the multiple time frame, that means higher time frame, lower time frame all together, that is where you'll see that the clear picture in the market. And looking at the multiple time frame, now we see that this is a breakout and there is a fair value gap. Now there is a fair value gap, guys. See here is the fair value gap, and with that fair value gap, if you look at here, this is a fair value gap, and I would like to mark it here. Okay, so it's coming to this 4-hour, 15 minutes bearish fair value gap, right? Now, how does that bearish fair value gap playing out here? Now, first of all, maybe it is closing that gap on the left. Yeah. So look, this is a V shape. So starting from here, we saw the drop, bounce back to the upside, right? The clean V shape. Now, when the market reach this kind of levels, directly drop and bouncing back, this is a sign of further extension back to the upside here. And there is a narrower 15 minutes doji, right? And in that area, if you look at, this is fair value gap. Now with this fair value gap, if you look at here, with this fair value gap, there is a higher chance that the market will try to fill that fair value gap if the market managed to break above, and then going back to retest this 4954 level or in that area. So if that's the situation here on the lower time frame, we might be able to find a bullish entry back to the upside. Now, of this double top, the market slowly trying to break that low here. And with that break below, we are looking at check 4-hour chart. I still think this is just ranging and we are likely to see drop towards NY1. Yes, this is now the market in the, if you look at the, this is the 4-hour, okay, and 4-hour previous session is a doji. We look at, this is a narrow doji, and that narrow doji is, if you look at that, there was a rejection of this level and breaking above. Yeah, it's crossing that fair value gap, right? And that might be now. So if the market get a rejection of this fair value gap, there is a chance for the price to come back to the lower time frame, right? So we'll be waiting to see how the market react to that fair value gap. And I agree that the market still can come back to the daily low. Unless we see that it has started, we'll be waiting for the market to show up. Now we do open quite a few live trades, and I believe that you guys know that, and we do open also the premium trades. So if you are not there, also you can look at also the link in the description where you can find all the ways you can join the academy, as well as also you can join our Telegram channel. You can find link below this video where you can find all the information how you can gain access to the regular trade setup as well as trade ideas. We are approaching 1 hour 20 EMA. There is a chance for a retest of this 1 hour 20 EMA, or it might, without retest, could continue to drop back below, because the market has just crossed the 4-hour resistance line, right? And of this level, there is a chance for the price to go up if it continues to rise back to the daily high or daily resistance, and then to come down. And even this can be a starting point of a new uptrend as well, because the market has overextended below. So everything is possible, right? This is also that's kind of quantum possibility, right? Everything is possible. The market is in possibility of everything at the same time. This is how it really helps to become a better trader if you think that way, right? Because I have seen that human brain is not wired to think simultaneously. This is a big drawbacks I have seen over and over again with thousands of people, hundreds of people. Usually our brain is wired to think black and white, right? Either this or that, either win or loss. But how does superposition or simultaneously at the same time works? So when you think that way, then concept of time will collapse. It will no longer exist that somewhere in the past you born, let's say 1990, and then you pass away like, let's say 2060 or 70. It's not gonna exist anymore. It's gonna collapse, because there's no concept of time in simultaneously at the same time, right? How can you be at the same time where there is a time? So that's why we always need to think this way, that way, linear, which is the gross or the particle, right? How does that concept of simultaneously is in the superposition, right? At the same time, everything, because anything that you will consider infinity is in superposition. You can't otherwise define infinity with a number. Impossible. So now, we see the pretty long wick candle in that area, and interestingly, if you cannot define anything, let's say if there is something infinity or infinite and you cannot define it without superposition, then all the equation made could be wrong. And that's what happened. You see that. So if you go to the lower level, subatomic level, no physical laws work. Everything collapses. So this is why our brain is wired, because of the lack of information, also lack of understanding. But now things getting very, very advanced, and we understand it now. And that also it helps us to become a better trader, because that's how you can think of a probability, right? Now, if you look at the market is here, this is a uptrending, and if you look at, we were planning for potentially deepen further, but you can see the market start to trend up here. So where the price is moving upside here, and okay, come on, need to find an entry. I'm still waiting. The first one that we have entered, it was very interesting one. Now we are looking at here in that area that the market to break that high and then to reverse back. However, if we look at the fundamental, I always keep checking the labor market overview UK February 2026 estimates for payroll employee in the UK about 24% between December. Okay, so that, how did that must be GBP. What happened with the GBP? So use GBP got bearish with that news, or how about the DXY playing out? Okay, so you see that DXY has a little bit of bullish bias, which is what I think that pullback. And British pound US dollar, in comparison with the movement on DXY, GBP has dropped much more than that. And that is also, if you look at that British pound US dollar, which is a bigger move happen, is because of the weakness on GBP that you can see here. With a series of lower high, GBP USD, it's reflecting the data. USD JPY also in a pullback. CSD, we open a trade, which is now we can see the British USD basically getting some kind of pullback in that area, interestingly moved. And we'll be going to that while we are looking at on gold. And there's a candle close, and I'm looking at actively for an entry on XAUUSD. There is now still two possibility for gold to go ahead and test this 20 EMA, which is the 1 hour, and also you have here the support level. So both of them is absolutely important to look at. Breaking that high, and I will be looking at entry here in that market. I think there is a, whenever coming, still the buyers are putting the pressure back above here in that market, and that might be showing that this market to eventually trend. I'm looking at that entry. Getting some kind of reaction of this level here. Breaking out. I'll still be patient here for to show up better trading opportunity, still in an uptrend here. And because there was an earlier downtrending move, and looking at in this market to show up better entry opportunity. Here is the market slowly breaking above, and if you look at from this support level, pushing that market back above this level, and that might move that price potentially further upside to this liquidity zone. And with that break above this level here, we might see that the market to retest and then to return back down here in that area. With multiple liquidity sweep, expecting the market to react back below here, to drop down further, to create a new lower low in that market. And this is what we will be looking at this market structure. There is a breakup, complete breakup resistance line, and the market now of this level could continue to rise back above to create a new higher high. We might see or the price to drop down further below to the support level, depending on where the market is heading to. And that is what we are looking at in this price action to show up that potentially better entry opportunity here in that market. We're getting some reaction of this key level, and this is what we are looking at for the market to eventually drop down further, even to drop back below to the support level, which is an important area of value. If you're joining here, we are looking at an entry in this market for a possible upside bias. And I believe that you guys enjoying the live session that I'm coming every single day in the live market. And if you're enjoying, make sure you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Also stay connected by joining there. I do share some of the trade ideas and also the regular updates on the market that will give you better understanding of the market, the current market status and all of that. So all right, so here is the price action, and as we are progressing towards this session here, we can see the market of this support level here moving in the direction of the trend. And with that movement, if you look at of this support level here, the price slowly building its momentum back above. And as the market is approaching this key level, which is from this support, we see that it's approaching back to the upside here. And with that back above, we are looking at the market to show up here, support down resistance, expecting the market to drop down back below to the support level. And with that movement, here is the support. The market is approaching that key level. We're looking at the price action. And with this support, the price is approaching and still maintaining that uptrend. I'm still looking at an entry of this resistance line. And with a multiple rejection from this level here, the market is started to now break from this resistance. Now we could see the price to eventually come down further back below. And if the market managed to drop down, if the market managed to continue to drop here to the support level, this is what we will be looking at entry here in this market. And this is what we will be looking to see if the price action shows that pattern. So you want to see the market giving us an entry. And so far, I think the price may may try to reverse of this level here. There is still possibility for reversal. The series of lower high here. The multiple long wick candlestick pattern. Here is the looking for the market to break below, eventually drop that down here. Okay, I think the market slowly turning to change its trend here. If you look at, there is a 10 and 20 MA crossover. There's no significant high impact news that you can see in this market. So because there is no significant high impact news, so we can look for a suitable entry as soon as it shows up here. And I'm ready for an entry. Are you guys ready for an entry here? Say yes if you're ready with proper risk management tool, which is very important to look at in terms of the risk management. So which is an essential part of trading, looking at the risk management. Welcome, welcome. Thank you. All right, so this is the 1 hour market structure. If you look at this 1 hour candlestick pattern is getting a rejection of the higher price. And there is a chance that if the market get the rejection of this higher price, we can expect this market to continue to trend down here back below. So shall I try gold sell now? It's still not selling, but we are looking at for that entry and preparing, because the market has slowly building its momentum downside here, right? So it's showing that there is a possibility, but still, if you look at this is the 1 hour candle, still 17 minutes for this candle to close. And there is a chance for this market to go again back above for another retest before we see the market is coming down back below. Therefore, here is still there is a potential for another breakout. And once we see the market trend confirms its downtrend, we are looking at that entry opportunity here in that market. All right, so here is the market slowly building its bearish price action pattern, and we see that with this movement, crossover of 10 and 20 minutes, I think there is still potential for the market to go ahead and cross this high before it eventually trend down. If it grabs enough liquidity of this level, this is what we will be looking at entry. Okay, slowly the market is creating here a downtrending. Hello sir, shall I try gold sell now? Not selling yet. We are not, we are looking at for trend confirmation. So you want to see the market trend begins, and there is a session open coming, as you can see, in just a matter of 10 minutes, 13 minutes. So with the session open on gold, you will be looking at this market to show its pattern. And because there is session open coming, there is a potential for a move here, and this is what you want to take that move as soon as it shows up. So if you look at here, there is a series of lower high, and with this series of lower high, and the market may retest and then could continue to drop here. And with that series of lower high, we are looking at this market to break that 20 and 10 exponential moving averages and then to return down. If we drop as this 1 hour candle is closing, then it could be a good sign for a drop. Yes, the market here it's showing potentially bearish sign. Okay, there is a potential change of trend. 1 minute crossover of 10 and 20 exponential moving averages here in that area. There's a chance for the price to eventually come down here back below, and this is what I'm looking at potentially for another retest. And this is what we need to look at here, the market to show up. Getting that reaction in that area, and we may see that the market to eventually retest and then to reverse back again. The market is leaving a significant imbalance in that area. If you look at as the session open coming, looking for the market to fill some of this imbalance. If the price goes up for another retest here, we will be looking for sell. There might be drop here, but what I would wait for a break of structure first and then to trend down. As in 10 minutes time, we are looking to see a session. If you look at this is the 1 hour price action, the market has tested the upper shadow, and there is a higher chance that this market to drop. 4 hour chart, still quite a few hours candle to close, and there is a chance for this market to deepen further. Now, as it created significant imbalance in that direction, so this is what I am looking at for possible selling opportunity in that market. Okay, so we can see the market is trending. If the 1 hour candle close as red long doji, then selling will be good. We are nearing to the candle close, and let me see. Let's delete the levels. Then looking at the fresh. I think even if 1 hour candle close as a green, still there is a chance for selling pressure, because if you look at here, this one red candle, right? 1 hour, it was a big rejection, followed by the market has crossed this level, and we can see the market again has got another rejection below. So therefore, closing as a long wick, this 1 hour price action could lead that market to be bearish. However, if you have only 4 minutes, if the market here come well below and then close above, that's where there is a bullish potential. That means if the price drop down back below, grab liquidity and close as a bull candle, then there might be potentially an uptrend here. At the moment, in this lower time frame, it's showing that there is a possibility for further lowering, and it might, because the market left significant imbalance here. If you look at here below this level, there is a liquidity. The market moves from liquidity to liquidity. So if you look at after cross of this high here, there is a significant amount of liquidity figure. As we discussed, there is a fair value gap. The market has rejected off that level. Now the chances that the price to come back below to test the lower shadow of this zone here, and I'm looking at with all of you guys to look for sell. Are you with me? We have 3 minutes to go, and I think the market structure is significantly bearish here at the moment on the lower time frame at least. So looking for potential entry for this imbalance. Back to back quite a few 5 minutes candlestick pattern. I would be happy to see one candle got long wick with the 1 hour candle close. If we see a rejection here, we will be selling. I'm preparing for a sell opportunity. Are you guys with me? So I will be opening, we have 2 minutes for this candle to close. Before the candle close, I will be opening a sell entry from this level, keeping my stop loss above this high, and will be targeting to this liquidity zone. This is a quick sell with proper risk management, of course, and with proper stop loss as well. So looking at sell. Stop loss putting 4939.29. We might close very early as soon as the market if reach that enough liquidity. Stop loss placing at TP target. So I placed a sell here, and this is a quick sell, and they're expecting this market to potentially to remain bearish with the candle close. And if the market drop down here with the first move, that I will be taking profit out of this level here. So you see the initial drop, and also I'm ready to close anytime if needed. Look at the 1 hour candlestick pattern, just the candle close with a pretty long wick, and they're expecting the price to eventually come further lower before it bounce back up. And we see some kind of downside. Are you guys with me? As I mentioned, if the market suddenly slide down back below here, will be taking out of the trade. So I'll be happy to take even above 50 pip if the market successfully drop down back below for this rejection. There's some pullback. This might come. 1 hour price action. Or getting some reaction of this level. And I'm on sell. Stop loss at 4939.30. TP target set well below. There is no news, so there is no high impact news, so there isn't any possibility for a bigger spike. If the market drop down for this imbalance, we will be on the trade. We'll be taking the trade out of the table. I'm also looking at the news. Iran fires live missile into Strait of Hormuz in drill as a new round of nuclear talks begins. Okay, so there is some kind of back and forth. The US and Iran are holding their second round talks about Iran's nuclear program Tuesday in Geneva. Okay, so you see there is a drop that we discussed, and that drop what we are looking at, and I'm ready guys, anytime to secure this trade. It's getting some upside here. 1 hour price action. It tested the lower shadow on the 1 hour, and I think still there is a possibility for downside here. Wanna successfully close this one. Volume coming. Right, downside. $35 pip up. I'm on it. I'm still holding on to that. I'm running in profit, and I'll keep running it. I'm on it. All right, so we are up here with this trade, 48, above 50 pips. So I'm going out with above 50. As I mentioned, I'll be happy to take above 50. I've closed that. All right, so I'm out with the current 53 pip as introductory first trade of this session. Could to feed a little lower. All right, so okay, cool. We are out with this trade. I'm out. Let me know, traders, what's your status with this trade? Okay, so playing music with the activation of the trade. Okay, thanks for confirming. So let's have some fun, and then we will be looking at again for another entry. By the way, in the meantime, if you haven't liked this stream, you can do so, and also join the Telegram. You can find link below this video, and straight away you can also join the premium Telegram, where also I'm regularly sharing every trade that I'm opening. That will change the way you look at the market. Don't forget to subscribe to the regular analysis as well as trade setup that I'm sharing in the group. We'll be discussing in depth about this trade. Also, we'll be discussing about the strategy and logic behind the trade. So let's make a win here. Okay, how's that going? And we can see that the market is still moving in that direction. Now what is the next move that you can take in this market? If you look at the 4 hour, you can see from this high here the price start to drop down back below, and with this drop down that you can see the market is maintaining that downtrend. You could see this market to continue to drop down here back below to the support level, and this is what we are looking at for our next entry back here in this market. And looking at again to the fundamental, how the market is showing up, we can see some kind of the news. So you can see there is a kind of comment here. The second round of US nuclear talks, which took place in Geneva today, has ended. The US official said, okay, some kind of okay, so probably this there might be some kind of movement that you could see here, and it was $170 million with okay, so it's not we are not trading the Disney, okay, but however that might be some, I don't know why this news here, but anyway we can look at that's also the part of the market. We can see how engulfing pattern works. Okay, P prime, some of the news really significant, because you know I more often look at the news for the sentiment analysis. Probably you guys haven't heard of that before. How many of you have really think of sentiment analysis, right? Sentiment analysis will give you a complete picture of the market. We do that technical analysis, fundamental analysis. Have you ever heard of sentiment analysis? Yes or no? You can share in the live chat. How do you do the sentiment analysis? Because there is no set of rules or the criteria like the technical analysis that you can use, support, resistance, trend line, right? But how do you do the sentiment analysis? Okay, that's crucial to look at, because the market is, if you are a short-term trader especially, let me drop the volume here. Guys, if you are a short-term trader, then sentiment analysis is very valuable, and more often your trade will move in, if you can do properly 80% to 90% of the time, you can make a good you can take a good move in the market if you know how to do the sentiment analysis. And I can create a separate lesson on that. an extended video or a short video? How many of you really want to have that? If I see that more traders writing yes, we'll create a separate lesson on how to do the sentiment analysis. You can keep as a guide. It will take when you sit on your trading desk, or even when you look at the market. Okay, I see yes. How many of you can write yes? If I see more yes, then I'll make it. Now, to do the sentiment analysis, you only need nothing. Okay, just you need to know interpret the news, how to interpret them, and how can you use it just this way or that way. Okay, the market either move up, down. Okay, either going, if I look like that, okay, the market either will move, if you look at up, right, down, or sideways, right? However, any direction. So if you look at that, the market, so you either need to find a sentiment that is bullish, or that is bearish, or that is sideways. So that is what the purpose of sentiment analysis. It's a simple, but you can do it very easily. And to do the sentiment analysis, you just need few information and simple. I will create very shortly after a separate lesson on how to do the sentiment analysis, where you can add an extra layer in your trading. Either you are trading a short-term currency pairs, gold, cryptocurrencies, or anything, it's crucially important. All right, so now we are almost progressing to the second day of the trading week, and this is NY session. It begins. So let's look at again freshly looking at the market to see what is happening. We can see some kind of bullish movement on DXY, and with this DXY movement, there is, if you look at, this is the 4-hour chart where there is a liquidity sweep in that area, and with that liquidity sweep, the market, after this liquidity sweep, the price has broken back to the upside here, and with this break above, if you look at, this is now approaching this key level, which is a resistance line. And with the resistance, if you look at doji, bullish engulfer, this price action on the 4-hour that you can see on dollar index is bullish here for the short term at least. Now this bullish move may take dollar index further to the upside. If we look at the daily price action, because when you look at the dollar index, we will be able to see what gold and other instrument might be going to do here. So if you look at the weekly here, this is a weekly bearish engulfer. Looking at monthly, also we can see this is the monthly price action, which is showing that the market is in this downtrend, and weekly looking at also showing that in a downtrend. Daily price action here, that the market, if you look at here, which is also showing the market is crossing that high, and could be that the price to remain bearish here. And therefore, if we look at the intraday, now the 4-hour price action, guys, here that you can see, for me, there is a significant confluence to be bullish. So there is a contradictory. We see that higher time frame showing bearish, lower time frame showing bullish. So what we could see here, that the market to bounce up further and going to, because a market more often a healthy market will not drop straight. It's going to drop and then going for a pullback and then drop and then pull back and then drop like that. Okay, so that is what we are looking at this market structure. If you look at here, and that might be the trend line that we could see on DXY, depending on how the market structure is building later. So that being said, second day successfully you have closed trade, and you guys have seen that it was an incredible trade, and have already discussed many of the in details of that analysis of the trade on gold. And I hope that you enjoyed this trade. Straight drop to that we closed. Still hungry for more coming up later, and I will be trading. And stay connected by joining. Also, I see that many of the members have joined the Telegram, where there is regular promotion given to join the academy to become a successful trader. I'm sharing the Telegram link here. You can access the link, join there, stay connected to enhance your trading ability to become successful as a trader. That being said, traders, thanks for joining here, and I'll see you again very soon, shortly after in our next live in less than 24 hours for trading the market, as tomorrow big trading day coming. If you look at here, all right, so if you look at tomorrow coming up, tomorrow is there will be FOMC meeting minutes. We'll be looking at those areas. That being said, thanks for joining here, and I'll see you again very soon trading live together. Until that, stay well, stay happy.